So I've been in spaces recently and I've heard people talking about how they're basically trying to deny that John's wallet is the Gabe wallet. It was not that long ago that Thomas was upset because he felt like John could very easily clear the air and stop all the hatred that's coming Thomas's way. Many people within the Safemoon army tend to just disagree with anything that any previous employee has to say if it's negative about Safemoon. If it's positive, it's used as evidence as why Safemoon is great. If they say anything negative, then we attack them personally. If Thomas says something negative, he becomes a idiot who was high. And if John's uncle says something negative, then he's a jealous uncle. And it's just not a very trustworthy method of interpreting information in my perspective. But Thomas leaked these, and they try to say, oh, what Thomas leaked was altered. But basically, it's John sending Thomas on April 14th of 2021 the Gabe wallet over and over and over again. And John says, this is my wallet, ... Well, the other wallet, that's the Tano wallet that was owned by John whenever they came into Safemoon together. And he also says, exclude this wallet, and gives the Gabe. So when I was in this space very recently, and they were saying we have absolutely no proof. And when they say that, they're saying that the Moondog is absolutely no proof of being John's wallet, even though it receives millions from Bitmart, interacts with the Devil wallet and off-ramps in the same Kraken account. It's just absolutely no proof. And it's just like anybody can say absolutely no proof whenever they want. Like you can just lie as much as you want to lie or deceive yourself as much as you want and pretend like that's a counter argument. I mean, we can literally have screenshots of him saying, this is my wallet in the Gabe, and they say that's fabricated. Another interesting screenshot that he leaked, this is Papa's conversations with Captain Hoddle with John. Braden is his name. It's Braden John Caroni. It's him telling Thomas to yeet 200 billion to the normal Bitmart market making account. You make it over to the Iron Bank, okay? Where did you go, dude? This needs to be done. Time now. And then he says right here that the total needed liquid Safemoon was 4,310 billion. And he says we need 4,110 billion to this new address and then 200 billion to this address. Now, if you pull this address up, we see that the date was May 12th, 2021. And if we pull up this day's calculator to tell you exactly how many days ago that was, that would be 412 days ago, would have been May 12th, 2021, that he's telling him to yeet 200 billion to the market making account. And if we pull up this address, OXC52919, 200 billion should be going to that C5291 account right there. Okay, so, and then exactly 412 days ago, we see going from this account to the OXC 52919, 412 days, the 200 billion Safemoon. So this very clearly demonstrates that this is real and that this is John's wallet. Anybody who's honest enough with themselves can see that this is John's wallet. Now, I just want to say it's Mr. Adult who's running the Safemoon account that's been interacting with people and making them very happy. I'm not trying to crap on anybody's parade. I kind of just want to stay away from that. If that's what you want to do, it's fine. I think that when it comes down to it, I don't really care if John doesn't know how to turn on his utilities for his mansion that he bought with the tether that came from Bitmart from selling the Safemoon V1 LP. I don't really care if John is incompetent or if he's egotistical or delusional. I don't really care if he's a terrible leader and everyone thinks that he's this next level genius, Elon Musk, that's starting up this new innovation tech company. I mean, it's interesting to talk about, an interesting conversation to have, but I care more so about, has fraud occurred? Has he stolen from the investors? Did they sell the liquidity pool? So I've kind of lost all my trust in John. If somebody can't figure out how to turn on their utilities, if somebody is making decisions about windmills and wind turbines and stuff and just kind of throwing things out there that are being ultimately mega super hyped by the holders that we're doing the next huge thing, and reality behind the scenes, it's just a couple guys on some computers outsourcing a bunch of work. I just want to say this. I want my faith restored. I want to believe in Safemoon again. I want John to come out and say, bam, here's where the money came from. It wasn't Bitmart, you idiots. This is where I got my money from, and this is what I spent it on. But they aren't going to clear this up. John is in charge of the entire project. He pays everybody. You get paid good for working for John. You get rewarded for submitting to John's rule and for submitting to the hype, right? And if you don't submit to it, you get punished and threatened with lawsuits. So it's like, keep your nice paying job at Safemoon, even though you feel like there's some moral problems happening between what's happening behind the scenes and what people think is happening, and keep getting paid, or be threatened with a lawsuit if you come and speak out and try to speak the truth and give up all the money that you were making. And I think that a lot of people that work within Safemoon, I think you have to decide for yourselves, like, what is best for the holders. If there is true information that should be known regarding fraud that has happened, then I believe that you owe it to the investors to come out and speak. Just because you come out and speak and you know that most of the army is going to attack you because they feel attacked for us telling the truth. If that truth paints a negative light of John or Safemoon, they feel attacked and they attack back. Even if you do it respectfully, they're going to be very disrespectful and attack you. So what's the point? The point is that some people are going to listen. With 100 people that mock you and lie about you and all that stuff, there's a couple people that go, oh, holy cow, yeah, I can see that. Clearly that's John's wallet. Clearly that's the Gabe wallet. Clearly that's millions of dollars going from Bitmart to the Gabe wallet. Clearly, when they migrated our liquidity pool, this is just literally our money. If you bought Safemoon, you paid a tax, it went to our liquidity on PancakeSwap version 1. And when they migrated it to V2, they only migrated the BNB. It would be creating a green candle that somebody could just take advantage of without having liquidity. Then they would take the Safemoon from PancakeSwap V1 that wasn't migrated, which they could have just migrated that, and the Safemoon from V2 that was being bought from the BNB in the pair on the V1, and selling it over the counter to Bitmart for their reflections so that they could distribute reflections. Now, that money was also bought on Bitmart. Everybody on Bitmart's paying that tax. But who is pocketing this tax? For the reflections, for the liquidity on Bitmart, and for the liquidity, our liquidity being sold to Bitmart for reflections and other exchanges. I imagine this number is probably way higher than what we actually think it is, but the main money maker for John and them is Bitmart. We see millions and millions and millions of dollars of Tether going from Bitmart to Gabe, to the 666 wallet, which is connected through Thomas's leaked screenshots, John's admission of it, and through it being called the Tano Company, which is owned by John, and through John's Moondog. So it's very clear that a lot of money has been made off of our liquidity and off of Bitmart's liquidity through the selling of Safemoon through our liquidity, taking away from its intended purpose. They literally said, if we touch this, we will tell you. That is not transparency. That is lying to your investors. There was a major vulnerability when the contract came out, when the audit came out, that yes, they had access to the LP, but they won't touch it because if they did, they would be in legal trouble, right? And then that's exactly what has happened is the LP has been sold to exchanges. And maybe by saying, oh, well, they needed reflections, so therefore we did it, that John can get away with that. But the problem is that when you sell that Safemoon to the exchange for reflections, the money that was billed for reflections is meant for liquidity. The Safemoon being sold was meant for liquidity. Both those were. So when $20 million goes towards John or more to buy houses and cars and HQ, things that are not helping progress Safemoon at all, and to throw money at projects that actually end up being dead projects, you have to start to wonder, can you honestly look at all that and talk about Safemoon positively? It feels deceitful, right? It feels like telling somebody they're on the next best, most innovative vehicle that's ever been created. And meanwhile, you know that you've got a flat and that your battery's almost dead and that you're almost out of gas. There is nothing that I can see that shows that we have something super huge and innovative going on. And I don't really care as much about that. I could be okay with like, hey guys, we're all in this together. And I hope they have something up their sleeve when it comes to cryptonomics. I've said that. But the truth is that the LP's been sold. It's been sold. And if what they said is true, John will go to jail. How could he not go to jail for selling Safemoon out of the liquidity to an exchange and taking the profit? We see it on the blockchain. We see it with the purchase of his house that was doxed. He has like we see it with the pictures of him with extremely nice cars, but they said that they would tell us. Instead, they didn't tell us. John didn't tell us. This is John the entire time. We try to blame other people. He is firing and hiring people. He's in charge. He makes every call. Every problem that we try to associate with the old team was under his command, his direction, and we don't hold him responsible for that. Instead, we treat him like he is amazing and cleaned everything up, and it's just not true. It's not true. Why would you not come out and say, hey guys, this is what happened with this, and have transparency and honesty regarding something that you told us you would be transparent about? Well, the answer is very simply because you lied to us, you spent it on yourself, and you think that it's okay to treat investors that way. So right now, my focus is not on showing how incompetent John is because he doesn't know how to turn on his utilities. And do you really want a person like that in charge of a tech company that's supposed to be producing amazing new technology that's going to take us to levels of Binance? I don't know if I can associate those ideas together. What I would love to see for the investors, what I would love to see more than anything, whether it comes from me or somebody else or a group of people working together, is how much did John profit from Bitmart through the selling of the Safemoon liquidity on PancakeSwap that should have been migrated, and through the liquidity fee on Bitmart that should have gone to the LP. How much money did he make? How much did he spend on himself? This is a big deal. I don't know if because you're pretending to sell it for reflections through Bitmart that all of a sudden that gives you the okay to just go ahead and put it in your bank account and start spending millions like you're a badass because you stole a bunch of people's money. John is not this amazing tech person. He should not be going around giving speeches. He has not done anything. A swap in a wallet. Ryan got the wallet to happen, and the swap is not a huge deal. There's tons of swaps out there. We don't have anything innovative right now, and we have no idea exactly how our innovative technology of cryptonomics on our blockchain or exchange are supposed to work. So I personally will be putting the pressure on John, on his wallets, to show that he took from us, that he stole from us, that he said that he would tell us if he did use it, that he lied to us, that he used it on himself lavishly, millions and millions of dollars that was meant for us. It was not meant for self-spending. I think that people would be okay if it was being spent smartly, not stupidly, on projects that are failures, that are a waste of time and money and hype and investors buying for that reason, but that were used for the purpose of actually hiring people that can make something very unique, that can compete with the likes of Binance. So what I want more than anything is for John to prove us wrong, all of us that are questioning him, you guys, and to show that he's been honest. I don't think he can actually do that because he just wasn't. We can see it on the blockchain, $1 million houses, very expensive cars, expensive watches. And if you're willing to spend millions of dollars on a house, how much are you willing to spend on food? How much are you willing to spend on, fun things? How much are you willing to give your girlfriend? How much are you willing to give your friends? Now, I don't think that people understand that who John really is behind the scenes, but he's not what Safemoon is painting him to be. I can tell you that much. I do know that for sure. John's not a super innovative tech wizard. He hasn't done anything big. He shouldn't be going around giving speeches. Now, the entire point of me wanting to make this video today is just to let you guys know that I want to make Safemoon content. Safemoon has good views, has a great community. When a bunch of FUD isn't being created behind the scenes, that those with eyes that see are getting basically attacked and pushed out of the community. It's like, hey, if you see what's going on and you call it out, we attack you and we silence you and we tell you to shut up and we tell you that you're not part of the community. And it's like, you're only allowed to be within the community if you're willing to ignore what John has done. Everything that's ever went wrong with Safemoon, if you put any of that on John, you therefore need to be shunned and kicked out of the community, and you need to be attacked, and we need to come up with theories on why you're so selfish and hateful and evil instead of focusing on the real problem here, which is that $20+ million of investors' money has been taken in a secretive way. And to me, like, another huge thing about Safemoon is that if you release what everybody's hoping in, then what do they have to hope in anymore? If they release an exchange and it doesn't change anything, if they release a blockchain and it doesn't change anything, then the hope is gone. But that's where, like, most investors' hope is in right now, is in the blockchain, in the exchange. Why is it being delayed so long? You had every resource you ever needed to make Safemoon responsible. You had all the money in the world, but did you spend it on yourself or did you spend it on the army? And I don't ever want to see another post about bleeding Safemoon again until these things are addressed, because that's not transparency, that's not honest, that's not bleeding Safemoon, that's John. I really try to start these off as coming from the other perspective as much as I can. I get it, people are going to be hateful and attack me and it's whatever, and I want to put that to the side and just say, no, ignore the noise. What did John do to us? How much did he take? Will he go to jail? Should people know about these things? And you know what? Many of investors are literally okay with John spending millions of dollars on himself. They're okay with him taking millions from the LP. That's the point they've gotten to. And they want to attack anybody who's not okay with that. My entire point, like what I desire is for the truth to come out. If the truth is that John is clean and he can explain it all, then I would love for that to come out. I just don't think that's a possibility at this point, and this is why he's been so quiet regarding the issue. And he comes out with all these like Tupac amazing quotes about how, you're not, we're not friends anymore, but you're not my enemy. I just don't want you to be at my it's like, no, we're not cool until you explain this. And you can block me, Mr. Adult, on Twitter. I don't care. It's not like I can't just pull up the account on a private window, and people can attack me. But it's too late. I'm a part of this project, and I will continue to talk about this until it's been fully exposed of what you did with the millions of dollars that weren't yours, that you stole from your community, that you claimed to be all for. I think there's two things that can happen. One is that John could come clean and explain these things. Like, why is he not doing that? We see other projects, such great transparency with other projects where they're willing to come and talk and show wallets and discuss anything. And Safemoon is kind of like this hidden. John is hiding behind the army, behind the cult, behind the mods, behind his team, and posting a meme of Neo blocking FUD bullets. And that's supposed to be like, oh, you're not blocking FUD. You are hiding from it by not addressing this. If there's a good answer to it, give it to us so I can get back to making my stupid math videos. And if there isn't a good answer, then come out and come clean, because we will get to the bottom of this. This will be exposed. We will see the millions of dollars that you took from investors through the selling of the LP and through your bitmart deal. And like it says in the audit, you said, oh, don't worry about this, because if we get caught taking from the LP, we'll go to jail. Okay, so does that just mean that John's going to jail as soon as somebody figures this out and takes him to court? I'm not sure, guys. If your standards of right and wrong just are wildly changing between what you like and don't like, you have delusional beliefs. I can honestly say that. Your standards of what is right and wrong and how much criticism you give to one person, if that drastically changes between people, then your standard is flawed and it's not a logical standard, right? If everything John does is amazing and you question him, and any piece of information that questions him has to be absolutely 100% proven, it has to come from John's mouth. But anybody who's questioning John, any type of lies thrown their way of them doing it for money or working together or being paid is immediately accepted as a fact. Then you might need to realize that within your own mind and your own brain and logical pattern of thinking, there is deep flaws, because the standard needs to not change. If you can have the same standard for John as you do for the people that you hate, then you have a trustworthy standard of judgment that leads to proper construction of beliefs that are real. But outside of that, now you know that with your false standard, when you're hateful to somebody for questioning John, and you believe that everything John does is amazing, and you don't care that he took millions from this bitmart deal that was meant for our liquidity, 100%, you have formed beliefs in your head that are false, that you perceive life from regarding Safemoon and regarding John. So I hope you guys have a good week. I'm not sure when I'll be posting next. I just figured I wanted to do some kind of update to let you guys know where I'm at, for those of you guys that do follow me. And for those of you guys that hate me, I don't hate you, and I do hope the truth comes out.